So what I realized that one of the first seeds and ways to teach the first seeds was to teach about how we think, and that we think in what I call old style thinking, which is black and white and judgmental and control-based, control-oriented because of insecurity, and that we were about to evolve into a place that was whole brain, where you could use your left brain and your right brain, your intuitive mind and your logical mind together simultaneously. That this was a transcendence over black and white thinking. So you didn't make logic wrong. Logic is wonderful. Being verbal is great. But you have a whole other capacity, which is to metaphorize things, to be intuitive, to see spatial wholes, to get in touch with mystical, spiritual communication that is part of the reality of the universe. We don't have that. That was beat up a long time ago, especially in the scientific revolution, which was very important because we had turned the other into superstition, like being simplistic about what we feared. So I knew I had to do this very delicately and plant seeds that didn't scare people, that we began with what empowered them in practical matters of everyday life. And the most important thing I found, besides giving people guidance about the changes they were personally in, biologically and mentally, was to understand relationship. Because we all need relationship. We are one entity, Homo sapiens. We are one entity. And all humans are cells of one body, one species. And if we are fighting each other, it's like having cancer. We're hurting each other. We are not supporting our whole best selves. And that is a key piece and very hard to break through to because people feel very territorial, very control-oriented with all the conditioning they've had through thousands of years. So big job. But the good news is truth, and it's always there. And reality is bigger than we know. And what I used to like to say about logic and intuition is, reality is bigger than logic can hold. Logic can't hold reality. It's a tool. It's a sorting tool. It's a means by which we sort experiences in reality. And we analyze and we keep track of past experience. This is very essential. So the linear mind, the logical mind, is wonderful. But the intuitive mind is the place where we connect to divine source and where we are fed the direction of our evolution by being inspired by love, by connection, by communication that is authentic. This is the tool or the guide or the energy frequency that lets us integrate the two hemispheres, because then intuition can use the past experiences of logic, and logic can keep track of the insights that come from intuition. And together, we're more relaxed, we're more heart-oriented, authentically reaching out and feeling the other person so we know where they really are, so we're not afraid. Because the right brain is telepathy and intuition and all those deeper connections. So that was my philosophy, is to teach left brain, right brain, and a consciousness beyond duality, and that a whole brain was being born. And that was the essence of the evolutionary leap. And it affected men and women very differently, and most particularly in the evolution of consciousness. And that's another story.